to explore individuals' professional lives and, of course, inspire the youth at home. And in today's episode, we are joined by Sitfombolesihle. She joins us to explore heritage and how she is so rooted in her culture, and of course the idea of being a fashion entrepreneur. Sithombo, welcome to Young Climber.
Hi, Bello.
I'm so excited to have you because I think we've spoken to many people, but we haven't gone deeply into, the fashion industry and explored that part of it, to inspire the young people at home, because, we always focus so much so on the professional side of things, accounting, this and that. But today, we're talking about something so unique, something so creative. But firstly, let's turn to Swati here. We always want to talk about your upbringing because your roots definitely influence what you become. And let's start from the bottom with you.
Well, I grew up in a family of 5, mom and dad, my older sister and younger brother. And early influences were TV and a lot of magazine reading, fashion houses like Margiela, McQueen and YSL, and obviously Kimora Lee Simmons, Baby Fat.
Yes.
Remember Baby
Those
Fat?
days, yeah.
And then obviously Destiny's Child, McBlean era. Yeah. So I had a lot of fashion influencing from the beginning, and I always had and looked out for something that looked really beautiful.
I think, you're also just fortunate enough to be exposed to that part of, media, because growing up, then maybe that's what made you, get into the career, because you had the influence from a young age, whereas maybe someone else might not have had that privilege to say, she's like, who's Kimora Lee? But can we talk about growing up in Eswatini in particular, the traditions and the culture? How did that influence continue to influence, the part of choosing fashion? Because I think you've been very immersed in the culture.
Yes, so I definitely grew up very immersed in the culture. My mom was definitely a very pinnacle topic in my fashion influences, someone who attends traditional events every single year and made it a priority that all of us go and attend and support the king.
Whether you like it or not.
It was not even a question. We're going. And obviously going to Mhlangeni was something I deeply look forward to, and it still is the case. Just seeing how everybody expresses themselves, the colors, and over the years, the way the attire is created has changed, and and it's remixed in ways that really express an individual, and that's something that's always stood out to me. That's always really felt special with him. Not only is individuality expressed and should be kept to yourself, but it can be shown and seen by thousands.
And listening to you, I can safely say that part of your life also taught you a lot about community. But what may have also taught you a lot about community is obviously the schools that you attended. Can we just talk about your academic life before the atelier part, before the glamorous part of it, before the realization that this could be my life?
I really enjoyed school. I loved learning, and till today I'm always taking a course just for fun and reading for sports. So education and learning is always something that I prioritize. I feel like you could never stop learning. But after school, I made the decision not to go to university because I wanted to figure out and understand what it was that I wanted to do without being shaped before getting shaped, not without, because we get shaped whether we want to or not. And over the years, I took a fashion course and went to pattern making schools, and it all led me to where I am today.
And obviously something that we should have started with, but we're talking about it now in relation to your brand and your personal story, is your name. Sitfombo, why you decided to, put it into the business, because it could have been anything, because it's fashion, and maybe you wanted to be, relatable. You could have gone with, I don't know what. Why did you decide, to attach it to your brand?
It wasn't necessarily a conscious decision. I think it was just a moment waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Because I knew when conceptualizing the brand that it had to be attached to my heritage. And I was playing with different names.
Okay.
I
So
think
there were
other names, yes. Like
Yeah.
Busa was a big one that I really felt connected to. And then it just took a conversation with a wise woman who was just like, why not your name? Your name is unique, your name has power behind it. And I was like, it was hard because then it's hard to detach yourself, but I was like, actually, let me do it.
Let me stick to it.
Yeah.
And now Sitfombolesihle is described as a luxury fashion brand rooted in heritage and craftsmanship. How do you then balance, the traditional Swati artistry with contemporary global design? Because we're influenced every single day with these global trends. But, I've seen something so unique in your designs. It's always, like I said, what you're wearing right now, it's giving Swati, but not.
It's giving modern.
Yeah, it's giving modern.
Yeah. Of course, it takes a lot of research and seeing what's out there, seeing what's working, and what used to work. Fashion has a forecast.
Yeah.
So what worked today might not work in 2 days, and
Literally.
so it's so fast and it's so rapid,
Yeah.
and so I try my best to kind of reel it in and kind of take all the information or the research, and then I switch off my phone.
Yeah.
I switch off. I will take a walk. I'll go do anything else so that I can actually begin processing everything and blending what I know, what I see, what I know looks good, and marrying it to my culture and reimagining what Swati dress could look like.
But we obviously need to talk about, what inspires you when translating these heritage elements into your designs, because it could be things that you're seeing around you, what you've learned about our culture, and then interpreting them into like modern silhouettes. What things around you inspired? Maybe like going to Mhlangeni and being like, my next skipper will have umgago or something like that.
Yeah.
I know, the way, designers think
comes
is out
from
of,
anywhere,
it's
yeah.
out of this world.
And that is the case. It comes from anywhere. Literally, it comes from anywhere, anytime. And I find my best designs from switching off and really just detaching from having to create the best thing, and just, I guess, going home to my friends or my family and sitting and talking and laughing and what we're doing. I might just create something just from this conversation.
Please try. I need something inspired by young climber. But then each garment, you said, carries its own specific story. How do you then approach the storytelling process behind a collection or an individual piece?
So there's a lot of things that I feel like I can't explain, especially because some things are just ordained by God, and it's very difficult to really sit down and be like, okay, so this is where it starts and then it goes on like this, because sometimes like I'm here and then I'm there and this works, and sometimes I love it and then the next day I hate it. So I just listen to God.
It just works in many different ways. But we will be taking a short commercial break. When we return, we continue to explore your world of creativity, being on the Luju stage, and so much more. But Babula Makaya, that is only when we return.
This is Mind Over Matter, a safe space in Sitfombolesihle where we get to talk about real life issues.
Emva
ukuhambisa isikhathi baqala esibhedlela ngekutolapha ema-physical symptoms senkhani labafunza khona ukuthi it's actually a psychological situation manifesting in a physiological manner.
Mental health is just how you regulate your thoughts in a manner that influences your emotions to relate positively with people, standing on positive philosophies or belief system as expressed by your physical wellness.
Hello and welcome back. If you just tuned in, you are tuned into Young Climber, and in today's conversation, we are joined by Miss Dlamini. You know, we've been exploring the fashion industry, talking about what inspires what you do, but we also just need to talk about the challenges. Like any other industry, this one has its challenges, and especially as an aspiring maybe fashion designer, for someone who's watching and they just want to put their foot in, this is your chance to say, do not go there. Can we talk about some of the challenges that you have come across and how you manage, you know, to work through them?
Well, I could say getting into the fashion industry is pretty simple. It's easy because it's just a matter of knowing what you're doing. Fashion has plenty of jobs. It's not just making clothes and selling them, but it's a whole industry and it's very complex and but my experiences has really just finding my own footing and understanding my voice, understanding my why, and then understanding who I'm talking to, which is a work in progress. I'm still figuring it out. I can't say that it's mastered, but I can say that I definitely have found my identity. And the advice to anybody who wants to start fashion is be good. Just be good at what you're doing. And be confident, but talk to God all the time. Talk to God.
Because you need some assistance, you know, through it all. But we also need to talk about just the idea of not giving up, because one of the challenges that you may face is no orders. Nobody's buying, but your creative juices need to continue to flow. Maybe you woke up with a design, but you're like, who is it for? Have you had moments like that for you, and why have you continued with, you know, collections endlessly, even if you're not going to any fashion shows? Why have you kept that burning spirit in you in regards to this?
I think it's for the same reason I said it's just ordained by God. You know, like this is something I wake up so happy to do. Like it doesn't feel like work. Yes, there are challenges and some people you talk to and they may try to kind of discourage you. It's literally just like, you know, but it never touches the surface really. I just love what I do, and I love it. I love it. Yeah.
And you know, Sitfombolesihle also champions women who are creative, confident, and connected to their roots. How do you define a Sitfombo woman? I mean,
that is a big question. Big question. But it's all about expression. A Sitfombo woman is expressive. She's authentic. She's not afraid to be herself. She's not afraid to really captivate and show up. She loves to travel. She loves good food. She loves
you.
It's us.
It's all of us.
It's us.
Of
it's
course,
you too.
Of course.
You know. But yeah, it's just the best parts of life, and embracing it and being unafraid of really
to our Africanness, to our designs, because you know, you discover that Africa has countries with the best fabrics in the world.
Exactly.
Why is it important for us to then remain unique and not try and imitate, you know, the global trends? Because now we're seeing them as they're the top of the top.
I love that question because it's the biggest reason behind my why, because we have to remember who we are as Africans, and Africa is the most wealthiest continent on the planet Earth, and the way it can sustain itself and all of the other continents that exist. It's incredible. And so I'm here to tell the story of Eswatini because firstly, our heritage is so important and it's so rich and it goes back far beyond that I can even imagine. The only sad thing is our heritage is definitely passed down through spoken word.
Yeah.
So it is hard to really trace the facts and trace specific dates, but it doesn't change the content.
Yeah.
And so I'm in a way using spoken word through garments, because the garments isn't going to say mine in but it's going to say that I'm Swati and this was produced this way and it was influenced by Bomage or whatever, so.
And the concept of fashion carrying memory and meaning, I think as you speak, this just comes in. It's very central to your brand. Could you share an example maybe of a design? I know it will be difficult to say, but I'm sure it'll pop up on the screen somewhere, of a design that embodies this philosophy of, carrying memory and meaning.
So I've kind of got a hefty archive already that I'm pretty excited and love. I've got the hut dress that debuted at Luju and the Vadla dress that debuted at the cocktails and forgot what the event is called, but it was before Bushfire. And these were pieces from last year, but my most recent was actually an international order. And the client was like, hey, I just want your piece and you can do anything. It should just tell the story of Eswatini.
And also, I mean, that leads me to asking, reaching an international clientele, how do you put yourself in a position where, you're likable to maybe people that are not so much so within the culture, because you then need to explain it a little bit further. Why? Let's what's Tanzanian, Oh, this is so gorgeous. This is so nice. Oh, this is so good. This is so gorgeous.
Thank you. Well, it's all a matter of just people being interested, and I mean, you would think that it is difficult to appeal to an audience that isn't Swati because it's so Swati.
Yes.
But I think that's the appeal because it's something that's different and they don't understand it, so it triggers intrigue, and then they ask questions, and then that's how the story begins. And then, there's beautification outside of understanding that I'm wearing history, but it's also just beautiful,
Yeah, and then, as an entrepreneur, I'd like to know how you balance artistry with, of course, the realities of just running a business.
Yeah, that
burnout, being tired.
Yeah. But like I said, I don't feel like I work, but a lot of how I'm running my business is I am learning as I go. Yeah. I pick up a book, I will ask questions, I'll go to someone I can see is running a business and they're doing well, I'll ask them a couple of questions and maybe I ask them for some guidance. And I just try my best to be curious and to just be a child that is always willing to learn and be a bit, feel like, I'm not smart. I don't mind going through that process. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that, opportunities like the Luju Fashion Indabas and showcasing at the Luju gave you an opportunity to, just get yourself out there and, of course, learn more about fashion and what it has to offer. Yeah. So I know it's not here, but we need to talk about that experience for you because it was your early stages, I'd say, of the business, but then already you're on, I'd say, the biggest fashion platform here in the country currently. How was it for you having to showcase there? The pressure of the outfits, the models, it's so much that goes into making it what it is. But how was it for you?
It was a learning curve for sure. I don't think I'd ever been exposed to that many designers. And what I learned is a lot of designers are very introverted. They don't like to speak. So, I always feel like it's very hard to speak to a designer who's in that process and really get into their minds because they're also just in my position trying to figure out what works, what to
inside
put
the
together.
head, sparkles,
There's
colors,
a lot happening.
yeah.
There's too much happening. But apart from the growth, it pushed me to also actually pursue it as a business, because in a sense it was a hobby, you know, because I started fashion because I just felt frustrated with the shopping experience. I just felt like I couldn't find anything that I wanted to wear. And so I bought my sewing machine, and then it just turned into, like, it just was a ripple effect. And then Luju kind of nudged me to actually go get those papers, get registered, trading license and everything like that. So yeah, she's officially in the market, but
She's in business.
She's in business, you know, but yeah, so.
And you know that Sitfombolesihle is more than a brand, it's a narrative of culture and identity. What impact do you hope that the work that you're doing has on the people balana ekhaya Eswatini, and of course like in Africa in terms of fashion?
That's a great question, and it's a very tricky one, because what I've learned is I can only do the best I can.
Of course.
You know, I create and I put my heart in every single garment that's created and every story that's told. But then once it's out there, it's no longer mine. You know, because people can love it, they can hate it, they can feel like, oh, that's for a skinny woman.
Yeah,
you know,
the interpretation
you know,
is
it's
like
just too many things that are outside of my control, and no, I don't design for skinny women.
You designed for Sitfombo.
Exactly, for Sitfombo women that love to travel, that have expression, you know, and so it's for us, you know, and right now I'm the best person to represent the brand, so it comes out looking like this, you know. But apart from that, yeah, I could say that I try my best, and I try my best not to take it personally when my message doesn't resonate.
Of course. I mean, you know, being this big, you need to take in any type of criticism because you hope that it'll be constructive, of course.
Yes.
But just lastly, we obviously need to encourage the youth of Eswatini, which is what the show is all about. You know, you've done the work, you've seen the market, you're surviving through it right now. You know, you're just trying to push through it to be bigger and better. Firstly, where do you see Sitfombolesihle in the next 5 years, obviously? I don't know why they say 5 years. In the next 2 years, girl. let me throw a bone at you. In the next 2 years. And of course, encouraging the young people of Eswatini, a young person who may be trying to go into fashion, and maybe their parents are saying, you know, there's always those things that come around, especially when it comes to the creative industry. What advice would you have for those?
Oof. Okay, so advice would be, if you love it, don't pursue it. Don't let anybody try to tell you anything. And unfortunately, sometimes it's your parents. And my parents support me 10 toes down today, but starting out, it was a conversation and dozens of meetings about
thank you.
You know, it just didn't make sense. And then I just had to show them through my own persistence and also footing my own bill, because it really was a matter of, I just had to show them how dedicated I was before they could actually start investing themselves, you know. So yeah, just push. And I'll always say, talk to God, because that's where you'll always get more influence and faith, and just always remembering that I don't stand alone when everything outside is difficult and you just feel so small and alone. You know, like there's always something bigger to capture you and hold you when you're scared. And
so believing in something definitely works out.
You have to believe in something.
But unfortunately, in the interest of time, we have to wrap up the conversation. All I can say is all the best with everything that you're doing. We cannot wait to see the brand soar the oceans, because that is definitely, if we have a luxury like they gave us more Louis Vuitton,
Yeah.
we're gonna give them Sitfombolesihle, right?
Period.
That's on her. Thank you so much for
Thank
making
you.
time to join us and share your story with us. We really hope that it inspires a young person at home to just start somewhere,
Yeah,
take the step,
you can do
and
it.
most importantly, believe in something.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bello.
All right, Sitfombolesihle Makaya, that was Sitfombolesihle Dlamini sharing her story about fashion and what it means to her. It was just a realization that there's always a deeper meaning to the things that people do. It's not just a job, it's not work. There's always something behind that inspires the work that people do. But Makaya, unfortunately, I have to love y'all. I have to leave y'all. From myself, Bello Nkosi, and the rest of the team, it is good night. Until next time. God bless.
Scammers lure with prizes and pressure. If a link promises something